Hello friends, welcome back to Hyper4Games. My name is Joseph and today on PlayStation News, PS5 loses to Xbox in Japan, Sony London's next game may be fantasy based, Death Stranding 2 gets leaked, and The Witcher 3 gets a new release window. Let's get into them. PS5 continues to have a hard time in sales across different regions due to the fact that Sony can't produce enough stock of the system. And now it's made them lose to Xbox in Japan for the first time in about 10 years. Historically, Microsoft game consoles have struggled in the region, so it's surprising to see them turning the tides. Last week's results saw the Nintendo Switch still dominating with all its variations, followed by the Xbox Series S selling over 6,000 units, PS5 was next with over 2,000, Xbox Series X was second to last with around 100 units, but overall the green brand managed to snag a win over PlayStation. Sony said they plan to ship 18 million PS5s this year, so we'll see how this continues over the next few months. And that's part of our next story as AMD has started production on the new Ryzen chips based on TSMC's 6nm process. As pointed out by Subitech on Twitter via DualShockers, this could improve PS5 availability with new consoles including 6nm based AMD processors. PS5 model CFI 1200 was registered recently for design certification, and while it may not be likely it will include these chips, they could be integrated into future models. If you're still having trouble getting a PS5, well, maybe you could have a chance at one soon. Wario64 on Twitter has posted a new bundle registered on the PlayStation Direct website featuring Horizon Forbidden West. Bundles are for both disc and digital consoles and they are not available yet, but you can register on the PlayStation website for a chance to buy one if you live in the US, UK, Germany, France, Netherlands, Belgium and Luxembourg. For other countries, there's a chance the bundle could be appearing soon in your local stores. Sony's PlayStation expansion to PC keeps going as the company seems to be assembling a team to lead further activities in the space. Last month they opened a position for a senior director in planning and strategy, and in the most recent one they are looking for a UX designer manager to drive the future of PlayStation off-console experience with a focus on PC and mobile devices. They require experience designing mobile, web and PC applications, which could mean they are considering a PC and mobile launcher that integrates PlayStation Network. And we have another job listing giving us more ideas on Sony's next projects, but this time coming from Sony's London Studio. The listing is for a narrative design lead who should have excellent understanding of non-linear narrative systems and how to deliver a story in an ongoing or game-as-a-service game. Their work includes making sure the game features diverse, authentic and compelling characters, locations and events with an intriguing backstory to set up years of an ongoing story, as well as design and implement quest interactions, character reactions, collectible info and combat narrative. Sony London is working on a PS5 online multiplayer game based on a brand new IP that seems to be based on a fantasy setting, although they removed that from the job posting since it was brought in several news outlets. This is one of Sony's 10 online services planned to be launched by March 2026. Insomniac keeps working on both Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and Marvel's Wolverine while recognizing the work of their team. According to a Resetera thread, several employees in the company got promoted, including Lindsay Thompson from Senior Cinematic Animator to Lead Animator, James Ham from Advanced Senior Animator to Lead Animator as well, and Mary Kinney from Advanced to Senior Writer. Insomniac has always been a great studio and their most recent work with Miles Morales and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart was outstanding, so these guys more than deserve it. Congrats to all of them. Norman Reedus has spilled the beans on the Death Stranding sequel. In an interview with Leo, a men's style website, Reedus was asked about his current projects including filming Death Stranding, to which he replied, "We just started the second one." He further discussed how he got involved with Kojima and Del Toro in a game starting with Silent Hills, and then the 2 to 3 years that it took to finish all the mocap for Death Stranding, reiterating that they started part 2 of that. Last August, the actor also talked with Brazilian site Adoro Cinemas, saying that he thought they were doing a second game and that it was in negotiations, but at the time it was believed he was referring to the PS5 Director's Cut that launched later in September. Following their deal with Square Enix, Embracer Group is starting to lay out the plans for the IPs they will own once the deal closes between July and September this year. In their most recent financial report, the company said they see great potential for all the acquired IPs, not only in sequels but also in remakes, remasters, spin-offs, and transmedia projects. So far we only have confirmation of the Tomb Raider developed with Unreal Engine 5, but it will be interesting to see what happens with all the other IPs. Just give me anything from Legacy of Kain Soul River already. In the same Embracer financial report, we got news on the upcoming Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic PS5 remake. They said that we'll get new updates on the game in the next several months, and Aspyr Media will now be backed up by Saber Interactive in developing the game. With Summer Game Fest kicking off in a few weeks and the rumored PlayStation event, there's plenty of chance we could see more real soon. In celebration of The Witcher 3's 7th anniversary, the official Twitter account provided an update on the planned PS5 upgrade. They said the new version will launch this Q4 2022. The game was originally scheduled to launch in the second half of 2021, but later moved into Q2 2022, and finally Q4 2022 after CD Projekt Red decided to move development internally from Saber Interactive. Another game getting an upgrade seems to be Assassin's Creed Origins. Instead of a new version, it's getting a patch that enables a higher frame rate when running on a PS5 console according to PlayStation Game Size. Ubisoft also did the same with Assassin's Creed Odyssey in August last year. They haven't confirmed the patch for Origins yet, but it could be launching late next week. Dead Space creator Glenn Schofield promised more news on the horror franchise's spiritual successor this week, and we got them in the form of a Game Informer cover reveal. They say that despite the resemblance to Dead Space, what they have seen from the Callisto protocol makes it a completely different beast. The game follows protagonist Jacob Lee as he tries to survive the terrors of Jupiter's second largest moon and a suspicious prison. The issue will cover the gameplay and how the studio creates the tension around it. Game Informer 346 launches this May 24th, with print subscribers receiving their copy in the following days. Callisto Protocol is scheduled for a 2022 launch on PS5, Xbox Series and PC. Open world tropical adventure Tchia has been delayed from its spring release to 2023, the developer announced on Friday. They said the extra time will be used to polish every aspect of the game and all the little details that make it a really special experience to deliver the best game they possibly can. It's still launching for both PS4 and PS5. PlayStation Store sales this week include the Extended Play and deals under 20, which last for a few more days. If you want to grab The Witcher 3, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, Spider-Man Game of the Year, Life is Strange Remastered, and a bunch more. Then we have a Remasters and Retro sale with up to 80% off on games like Resident Evil 3 Remake, Alan Wake Remastered, Castle Crashers, Metro Games, Assassin's Creed Ezio Collection, and over 200 more items. This one runs until June 1st. Besides, we also have a new weekend offer with Control Ultimate Edition, Overcooked All You Can Eat, Metro Exodus with all its DLC, Rage 2, Deadlight Director's Cut, Virginia, and a total of 46 games. Just remember that Control Ultimate Edition will be part of the new PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium. The weekend offer ends May 23rd. The deal of the week is Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin with 25% off starting at $45 until May 25th. And there you go, that's all the time we have for this episode of PlayStation News. Let us know what you think about any of these stories in the comments below, like or dislike to share your feedback, check out other videos you may enjoy while you're here, including all the details on God of War Ragnarok accessibility features or PS1 classics getting trophies, and consider subscribing for more PlayStation content. Thank you so much for watching, my name is Joseph, this is Hype for Games, and let's get hype!